Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the demands and dramas of those around you? If your peace of mind is being hijacked by the endless emotional roller coasters of others, then you've landed in the perfect place for relief. Today, we're diving into the profound Stoic art of detachment, not just to escape the noise, but to thrive amidst it. Epictetus once wisely stated, "Freedom is the right to live as we wish." In this session, we'll uncover how to achieve this freedom by detaching from people and situations that drain us, empowering you to maintain your serenity and strength regardless of external circumstances. This isn't just about stepping back. It's about stepping up into a more peaceful and empowered version of yourself. Before we dive into the transformative Stoic strategies, I invite you to take a simple but meaningful action. Drop a comment below with "Emotional detachment starts now." This statement is your personal declaration of independence from the emotional chaos around you. It's a powerful affirmation of your commitment to cultivating tranquility and control in your life. I'm excited to see how many of you are ready to embrace this journey toward emotional detachment. Now, let's embark on this path together and discover how to remain unaffected by the chaos around us. 1. Create distance temporarily. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by emotions during an argument or stressful situation? It's like being in the middle of a noisy street, unable to think clearly. In such moments, stepping away can be your first step to gaining clarity and calm. It's not about running away from your problems, but about finding a quiet spot to sort through your thoughts. Let's remember the words of the wise Stoic philosopher Seneca, who said, "Retire into yourself as much as you can." This powerful quote isn't just about physical withdrawal. It's about turning inward to find peace away from the chaos. Seneca's advice is crucial because it teaches us that the path to understanding and controlling our emotions often begins with a moment of solitude. By stepping back, we allow ourselves the space to breathe and reflect without outside pressure. Imagine you're having a tough time deciding whether to keep a friend who often upsets you. If every interaction leaves you feeling drained or upset, it might be time to take a step back. This doesn't mean you stop being their friend forever. Instead, you give yourself a chance to think about what this friendship means to you and whether it's healthy to continue it. Or consider a work scenario where tensions run high. Instead of reacting in the heat of the moment, stepping away, even if just to the next room, can prevent words and actions you might regret. This pause can be the difference between making a hasty decision that could hurt your career and making a thoughtful choice that could enhance it. Each time you choose to step away, you're not showing weakness, you're harnessing strength. It's a courageous act to choose silence over chaos, reflection over reaction. This is where emotional detachment begins. By creating this space, you give yourself the opportunity to see the bigger picture and make decisions based on logic rather than just emotion. Remember, emotional detachment starts now. Each step back is a step forward in your journey toward emotional freedom and tranquility. By practicing this first principle of Stoic detachment, you start the process of taking control over your emotions rather than letting them control you. This is not just about dealing with others, but also about understanding ourselves better. Every moment of pause is a step toward deeper self-awareness and inner peace. Let's embrace this Stoic practice. Let's step away to gain perspective, to clear our minds, and to prepare ourselves for better interactions. Every time we do this, we're not just avoiding conflict. We're building a foundation for healthier relationships and a more balanced life. Remember, your journey toward emotional detachment starts now. Let's make it a powerful one. 2. Evaluate your associations. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain people? It's not just you feeling tired. It's a sign that it might be time to rethink who you spend your time with. Just like a garden, your life needs the right environment to flourish. Stoicism teaches us that not everyone will contribute positively to our growth. Some relationships can sap our energy and distract us from our goals. It's crucial to evaluate who we spend our time with, ensuring that our relationships are healthy and beneficial. Stoic wisdom isn't about cutting people out for no reason. It's about making sure the people in our lives are good for us. Epictetus, a wise Stoic philosopher, once said, "Keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This quote is at the heart of today's lesson. It reminds us that our associations should inspire us to be our best selves. By choosing to spend time with those who uplift us, we foster environments where we can thrive emotionally and mentally. This wisdom from Epictetus isn't just ancient advice, it's a practical guideline for modern living. When we surround ourselves with positive, supportive people, we create a space that promotes our well-being and helps us face life's challenges more effectively. It's about choosing quality over quantity in our relationships. Think about a friend who always criticizes you. How do you feel after hanging out with them? Probably not great. Now think about a friend who listens, supports, and cheers for you. Time with them likely leaves you feeling energized and happy. These examples show why it's important to choose who we hang around with carefully. It's also wise to periodically review our relationships. People change, and what was once a healthy relationship can become less so over time. Regularly asking ourselves, does this relationship still bring out the best in me? Can help us decide if it's time to make changes. This doesn't mean we should give up on people at the first sign of trouble, but we shouldn't be afraid to set boundaries or say goodbye if a relationship is truly harmful. Every relationship should help you grow and feel good about yourself. When you start evaluating your associations, you take a big step toward personal peace and emotional freedom. Remember, it's okay to choose who gets to be in your life. By being selective, you are not being selfish, you're taking care of your well-being. Let today be the day you start making those choices consciously. As we think about the relationships in our lives, let's remind ourselves of our mantra for today. Emotional detachment starts now. This means beginning the journey of choosing our associations wisely, ensuring that each relationship aligns with our needs for growth and happiness. By actively applying this Stoic principle, you empower yourself to build a supportive, uplifting circle of friends and acquaintances that reflect the life you want to lead. 3. Engage in meaningful conversations. Sometimes, talking things out is the best way to lighten your load. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack. Each problem you have is like a rock in that backpack. If you keep walking without taking any rocks out, it's going to get really tough. But if you stop and take some rocks out by talking about them, you'll feel much lighter. That's the power of meaningful conversations. It's not just about chatting. It's about sharing what's heavy on your heart and mind with someone you trust. In the middle of our journey, it's crucial to remember what the wise Stoic philosopher Seneca said. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. This quote is especially important because it tells us that real friends aren't just there for fun times. They are there to listen deeply and help us see things more clearly. When we open up to a friend who understands us, it's like finding a safe place to rest and gather strength. Think about a time when you were confused or upset and a friend helped you see things differently. Maybe you were worried about a big decision, like choosing a school or a job. By talking it over with a friend, you might have realized what really matters to you. This is not just about making choices, but understanding why we make them. Or consider a time when you felt really down. Just by sharing your feelings, you felt better. These are examples of how powerful and healing a good conversation can be. Besides just talking, your wise friends can offer advice based on their own experiences. They can remind you of times when you've overcome similar challenges, boosting your confidence. They can also suggest new ways to handle problems, like mindfulness exercises or setting small goals. This advice can be incredibly helpful because it comes from a place of love and understanding. Every step you take in sharing your thoughts and listening to others strengthens you. It's not just about getting advice. It's about building a bridge between two people who care about each other's well-being. And remember, by engaging in these meaningful conversations, you're not only helping yourself, but also deepening your relationships, which is a beautiful thing. So let's make it our goal to open up more, to seek understanding and to be understood. Emotional detachment starts now. 4. Establish emotional boundaries. Emotions can run wild like a river after heavy rain, but setting boundaries helps keep them in their proper course. Just like a riverbank guides the river's flow, emotional boundaries help us guide and manage our feelings. The first step is to recognize and understand your emotions. Just as you would not let someone else control the steering wheel while you're driving, don't let your emotions drive your life without your say. Remember, acknowledging how you feel is the starting point to gaining control. Once you understand your emotions, you're better prepared to set boundaries on how deeply and how long you let them affect you. Stoicism teaches us not to suppress our emotions, but to manage their intensity and duration. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "If you wish to be loved, love." This quote is a powerful reminder that our emotions should be within our control and not left to chance. When we actively decide how to feel and react, we align our emotions with our actions in a balanced way. In relationships, this might mean deciding not to hold on to anger or resentment. Instead, choose to address issues calmly and let go of them once resolved. This doesn't mean ignoring how you feel, but choosing to not let those feelings overwhelm you or dictate your actions for too long. Understand what situations or actions trigger negative emotions. This awareness will prepare you to handle your reactions better. Consciously decide how you'll react in emotional situations. For example, if you start feeling overwhelmed during an argument, you might choose to pause the conversation and return to it when you feel calmer. Let those around you know about your boundaries. If you need space after a tough day, communicate that need respectfully. Train yourself to pause and think before reacting. This gap between feeling and action is where you get to choose how to respond rather than just reacting on impulse. Every step you take to establish emotional boundaries brings you closer to a life of tranquility and self-mastery. By setting these boundaries, you're not locking your emotions away. You're choosing which ones to let in and when, making sure they serve a purpose and contribute positively to your life. Remember, emotional detachment starts now is not about removing emotions from your life, but about managing them proactively to lead a more harmonious and balanced existence. As you practice these steps, you'll find that you're not only improving your interactions with others, but also enhancing your personal well-being. Each moment of self-control and awareness is a step toward a calmer, more centered you. Embrace the journey of emotional detachment today and start living with the inner peace you deserve. 5. Assess the impact of detachment. Sometimes stepping away from people or situations can feel like you're losing something important. But have you ever thought about what you might gain instead? Detaching isn't just about leaving things behind. It's about making room for new growth and peace in your life. One of the most insightful Stoic thinkers, Epictetus, once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This quote is a powerful reminder in our journey of detachment. It encourages us to focus on what we can change and let go of what we can't. By doing this, we free ourselves from unnecessary burdens and open up paths to true freedom and tranquility. Let's consider a simple example. Imagine you have a friend who constantly criticizes you and makes you feel bad about yourself. Every time you hang out with them, you come home feeling worse. Now think about what might happen if you decide to spend less time with this friend. Initially, it might be tough, but soon you could start feeling more relaxed and positive. You might even find time to meet new people who uplift and inspire you. This step of assessing the impact of detachment isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's also about recognizing the positive changes that come when you make more space for healthy relationships and self-care. It's about understanding that sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to take a step back from it. This doesn't mean you're running away. Instead, you're giving yourself a chance to look at things from a new perspective. When you contemplate detaching from someone or something, think about how this will help you in the long run. Will it lead to more peace, more freedom? These are important questions that can help you decide whether stepping back is the right move. Remember, every choice you make shapes your future. Choose paths that lead to a better, calmer you. As we wrap up this discussion, remember our mantra for today: emotional detachment starts now. This isn't just a statement, it's a commitment to start valuing your peace and well-being above all else. It's about making choices that align with your ultimate goals of freedom and tranquility. So take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey of detachment, one step at a time towards a freer, more emotionally balanced life. 6. Take a break from social media. In today's fast-paced digital world, our lives are constantly bombarded with notifications, messages, and updates. It's like being in a crowded room where everyone is talking loudly and you can't find a quiet corner to think. This constant digital noise can cloud our judgment and make it hard to focus on what truly matters. That's why taking a step back from social media and other digital platforms is essential. This step is what we call a digital detox. A digital detox involves taking a break from social media and other digital platforms to reduce stress and regain focus. It's about creating a space where your mind can breathe away from the constant barrage of digital information. This break helps you refocus on your personal goals and values without the distraction of endless digital noise. Halfway through our journey of understanding the importance of a digital detox, let's recall the words of Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, who said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This quote is particularly relevant when we think about how much time we spend online, often without a meaningful purpose. Seneca's insight encourages us to use our time wisely and reminds us that every moment spent lost in our digital devices is a moment not spent on more fulfilling activities. It's about choosing to live our real lives in the real world rather than through the screens of our devices. Consider how relationships are affected by constant connectivity. Many of us have experienced sitting at a table with friends or family where, instead of talking to each other, everyone is looking at their phones. This behavior creates a physical barrier and, more importantly, an emotional distance. By engaging in a digital detox, we encourage deeper, more meaningful interactions that are not interrupted by the ping of a notification. This helps strengthen our relationships and fosters genuine connections. Detaching from digital devices also improves mental health and emotional well-being. Studies have shown that excessive use of social media can lead to feelings of anxiety and inadequacy, often caused by comparing ourselves to the highlight reels of others' lives. By taking a break, we can escape the cycle of comparison and focus on our personal achievements and self-growth. Starting a digital detox doesn't have to be drastic. It can be as simple as setting specific times during the day when you turn off your digital devices. Maybe it's during meals, 1 hour before bed, or the first hour after you wake up. The key is to create intentional periods of disconnection, allowing you to reconnect with yourself and the world around you without distractions. The positive effects of a digital detox can ripple through all areas of your life. With less time spent online, you might find more time for hobbies, exercise, or simply relaxing and clearing your mind. This newfound time can lead to a surge in creativity, productivity, and a greater sense of satisfaction with life. Remember, every small step towards reducing your digital consumption counts. Start today, even if it's just for a few hours. As you experience the benefits, you might find yourself motivated to extend these digital-free periods. In conclusion, Embracing a digital detox is a powerful step toward achieving emotional detachment and clarity. It allows us to break free from the chains of constant connectivity, leading to improved mental health, stronger relationships, and a more fulfilled life. As we wrap up this exploration, let's remind ourselves of our mantra for today's video. Emotional detachment starts now. Start your journey towards a clearer, more tranquil mind by stepping back from the digital world and rediscovering the joys of living in the moment. 7. Focus on your needs. Do you ever feel like you're trying to juggle too many things that don't really matter to you? It's like being at a giant buffet and loading your plate with food you don't even like. Stoicism, a wise old philosophy, teaches us a better way. It tells us to focus on what we truly need, not just on what's right in front of us. This is about choosing the parts of life that really help us grow and feel good, rather than everything that's offered to us. Stoicism isn't about living with less. It's about living with what's best for you. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not." This quote is a powerful reminder that focusing on what we can control, mainly our needs and responses, can lead to true happiness and freedom. Why is this quote so important? It simplifies life's complexity by reminding us that while we can't control everything, we can control our own choices. It guides us to differentiate between external desires and internal needs. Think about your relationships. Are they feeding your soul or draining your energy? Just like picking healthy food at a buffet, choosing the right people in your life is crucial. Stoicism teaches us to surround ourselves with people who reflect the values we admire, like honesty, courage, and kindness. When you focus on nurturing these positive relationships, you naturally move away from those that bring you down. This doesn't mean cutting people off at the first sign of trouble. It means investing your energy wisely. For example, if a friend consistently makes you feel bad about yourself, ask yourself, is this relationship helping me grow or holding me back? Just as you wouldn't keep going back to food that makes you feel unwell, don't hold on to relationships that make you unhappy. Remember, emotional detachment starts now. Start by detaching from relationships that don't serve your well-being. Your money can also reflect your focus on needs rather than wants. Instead of buying the latest gadgets or trendy items, spend on experiences and things that improve your life. Whether it's books, educational courses, or travel that broadens your perspective. Let your purchases reflect your real needs. This approach not only saves you money, but also deepens your sense of personal fulfillment. Every dollar spent wisely is a step toward emotional detachment from materialism, reinforcing our mantra, emotional detachment starts now. Your job should not just be about making money, it should align with your values and contribute to your personal growth. If your current job is draining your spirit, take steps to find work that is more fulfilling. Maybe this means learning new skills, switching companies, or even starting your own business. Focus on what you need from a career, which might be a sense of purpose or the opportunity to help others, and steer your professional life in that direction. Each step taken towards a fulfilling career is a step towards emotional detachment starts now, freeing yourself from the dissatisfaction of unfulfilling work. Taking care of your body and mind is perhaps the most essential need. This includes regular exercise, a healthy diet, and sufficient rest. But it also means looking after your mental health. Engage in activities that reduce stress, like meditation, reading, or spending time in nature. When you take care of your physical and mental health, you are better equipped to deal with life's challenges, and you reinforce the idea that emotional detachment starts now from unhealthy habits. For many, focusing on spiritual needs is crucial for personal growth. This might involve religious practices, meditation, or simply spending time in reflection. Connecting with something greater than yourself can provide a sense of peace and purpose. It reminds us that we are part of a bigger picture, and this perspective helps us detach from petty concerns and focus on deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. Embrace this connection to strengthen your emotional detachment from day-to-day anxieties, embodying the principle that emotional detachment starts now. Focusing on your needs is about making intentional choices that align with your deepest values and contribute to your overall well-being. It's about not getting distracted by what you could have, but cherishing what truly enriches your life. By applying these Stoic principles, you cultivate a life of purpose and tranquility. As we wrap up, remember our guiding mantra: emotional detachment starts now. Let this be the first step toward a more focused and fulfilling life. 8. Practice mindful reflection. Have you ever stopped to really think about why you feel the way you do? It's easy to get caught up in our daily routines and forget to listen to what's going on inside our heads. Mindful reflection is like pressing the pause button on life's remote control, giving you a moment to check in with yourself. Every day, we experience a flood of emotions and thoughts that can be overwhelming. By setting aside time to reflect, you can start to understand these thoughts better, just like cleaning out a cluttered drawer. Sorting through our thoughts helps us figure out what to keep and what to let go. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This quote is a powerful reminder that our happiness depends on how we choose to see the world and react to it. Reflecting on our thoughts shows us that we can choose peace over chaos. In relationships, whether with friends, family, or partners, misunderstandings and conflicts can arise from unchecked emotions and thoughts. By practicing mindful reflection, you can understand your feelings before reacting. For example, if a friend's comment makes you feel upset, take a moment to reflect. Maybe your reaction is more about a bad day you're having rather than what they actually said. This realization can prevent a lot of unnecessary arguments and strengthen your relationships. Mindful reflection doesn't just have to be about your personal thoughts. It can also involve your actions and how they align with your values. Are you living the life you want to live? Are your actions reflecting your true self? This kind of deep reflection can lead to profound changes in how you approach life and interact with others. Every session of reflection brings you closer to mastering your emotions and enhancing your personal growth. Remember, every moment of introspection is a step towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Emotional detachment starts now. By regularly engaging in mindful reflection, you empower yourself to respond to life's challenges with calmness and clarity. This practice not only benefits you, but also everyone around you as you become more present and centered. Let's embrace the power of introspection and remember, emotional detachment starts now. By applying these Stoic principles, you can cultivate a life of virtue, wisdom, and emotional well-being. True detachment is not about indifference. It's about engaging with the world from a place of inner strength and tranquility. Join us on this journey of Stoic detachment, where each step brings you closer to a more serene and balanced life.